Good day, everyone. Before we begin with our discussion, let me introduce myself. I am Wendell B. Banjola of BS Ed Science 3. So, for today's discussion, we're going to talk about the Big Bang Theory. So, what is Big Bang Theory? Before we dive into our discussion on the Big Bang Theory, I'd like to start with a question. What comes to your mind when you hear the term Big Bang Theory? Whether it is a vivid image or a lingering question or a personal curiosity, I invite you to share your thoughts as we dive on this exploration together about the Big Bang. So for the content of the discussion, we're going to tackle about first, the age of the universe. Secondly, a model of the universe. Third, the beginning of the universe. Fourth one, what is the universe really made of? And the last one, what is the inflationary universe? So, so for our lesson objective, first we're going to understand the fundamental concepts of the Big Bang Theory, including the notion of the universe expansion and the absence of the literal explosion. Secondly, explore the observational evidence supporting the Big Bang Theory, such as universal expansion, cosmic microwave background, radiation, and the formation of elements. Lastly, examine the concept of the inflation theory and its significance in addressing gaps in the Big Bang Theory, particularly in explaining the uniformity observed in the cosmic microwave background or the cosmic background radiation. So first, as part of the content, we're going to talk about the age of the universe and how does the astronomer calculate the age of the universe, and we're going to talk about what is Big Bang. So what is Big Bang Theory? The Big Bang Theory is a cosmological model that explains how the universe began. It suggests that the universe started its expansion about 13.8 billion years ago based on the latest calculation. The concept of Big Bang is not a literal explosion of something that led to the creation of the universe. So the Big Bang Theory is a fundamental concept in cosmology that provides a framework for understanding the origin and evolution of the universe. It proposes the understanding the origin and evolution of the universe. It proposes that the universe began as a hot, dense state approximately 13.8 billion years ago and has been expanding ever since. Contrary to a popular misconception, the term Big Bang does not describe an explosion in the traditional sense, but rather a rapid expansion of space and time from an initial singularity. Okay, this theory suggests that all matter, energy, space, and time were compressed into an infinitely dense point known as a singularity. So we're going to cover later on what does it mean by singularity. But for now, it is a reasons to not fully understood. This singularity began to expand and cool, leading to the formation of matter and the emergence of the fundamental forces, the four fundamental forces. So what are those? The gravity, the electromagnetism, the strong force, and the weak nuclear forces. So, as the universe expanded and cooled, subatomic particles combined to form atoms, which eventually coalesce into stars, galaxies, and larger cosmic structure over billions of years. The Big Bang Theory provides a comprehensive explanation for many observed phenomena in cosmology, including the cosmic microwave background radiation, the abundance of light elements, and the large-scale structure of the universe. So, secondly, for our second content, what is a model of the universe? So first model, what is initial singularity? So we are going to be more detailed about what singularity is. So the Big Bang Theory possesses that the universe began as singularity, an infinitely hot and dense point. Approximately, as I mentioned a while ago, it is around 13.8 billion years ago. At this point, all the matter, energy, space, and time in the universe were compressed into infinitesimally small volume. So, what is the initial singularity? The Big Bang Theory proposes that the universe originated from initial singularity, meaning to say, it comes from a singularity just like a bowl. It condensed just like in a bowl, an incredible hot, dense, and infinitely small. At this moment of the Big Bang, it is approximately 13.8 billion years ago. All the matter, energy, and space and time that constitute our universe were compressed into the singular point. The conditions at this singular were beyond our current understanding and any known physical laws, making it a profound mystery and cosmology. This singularity marked the beginning of the expansion of the universe. As the universe expanded and cooled, it underwent a series of transformative phases leading to the formation of fundamental particles such as the atoms and eventually the vast cosmic structures we observe today. So secondly, what is nucleosynthesis? Nucleosynthesis is the formation of elements such as hydrogen and helium. Presence of these elements lead to the formation of stars and galaxy. So, what is the nucleosynthesis? It is the process by which nuclei of atoms are formed in the early universe during the first few minutes after the Big Bang. The universe was extremely hot, dense, and conditions suitable for nuclear fusion to occur. The primary elements synthesized during the period where hydrogen are primary element and helium are second element to have a two atomic number along with the trace amounts of lithium and beryllium. The presence of these simple elements, particularly hydrogen and helium, played a crucial role in the subsequent evolution of the universe. As the universe expanded and cooled further, regions of slightly higher density began to form, eventually leading to the gravitational collapse of these regions and the formation of the first stars and galaxies. So nucleosynthesis of helium. How does the helium form? Helium is the second lightest and second most abundant element in the universe, primarily formed during the early stage of nucleosynthesis. The synthesis of helium occurred primarily through nuclear fusion reactions involving protons and neutrons. During the first few minutes after the Big Bang, the extremely high temperature and densities allowed for the fusion of protons and neutrons into helium nuclei through a process known as the Big Bang nucleosynthesis. This process was critical in determining the abundance of helium in the universe and laid the foundation for the formation of stars, galaxies, and heavier elements through the stellar nucleosynthesis process. So, the initial singularity and nucleosynthesis represent a key stages in the evolutionary model of the universe according to the Big Bang Theory. These concepts provide insight into the origin of the elements and the formation of the structure observed in the cosmos, offering a framework for understanding the universe's remarkable history and evolution over billions of years. Third one, the beginning of the universe. So, the birth of the universe, this all happened with just the first second after the universe began, when the temperature of everything was still insanely hot at about 10 billion degrees Fahrenheit or about 5.5 billion degrees Celsius. That is according to NASA. The cosmos now contained a vast array of fundamental particles such as neutrons, electrons, and protons. That those are the raw materials that would become the building blocks of everything that exists today. Okay, this early soup would have been impossible to actually see because it couldn't hold visible light. The free electrons would have caused light or photons to scatter the way sunlight scatters from the water droplets in the cloud, that is stated by NASA. Over time, however, these free electrons meet up with the nuclei and created neutral atoms or atoms with equal positive and negative electrical charges. So, as the universe expanded and cooled slightly over time, approximately within the first few minutes, the free electrons began to combine with nuclei to form neutral atoms or atoms with balanced positive and negative electric charges. This process, known as recombination, marked a crucial milestone in the evolution of the universe. With the formation of the neutral atoms, the universe became transparent to light, allowing photons to travel freely through space, leading to the cosmic microwave background radiation observed today. So, how do we measure the age of the universe using the cosmic microwave background? So during the first few 100,000 years of the cosmos, the universe was a hot soap in plasma of charged particle and radiation. Pabalik-balik lang. So we come to discuss how do really CMB know the actual age of the universe. So the cosmic microwave background or CMB radiation provide a crucial information about the early universe, which cosmologists use to estimate the universe age through the several key steps. Firstly, the CMB carries imprints for primordial fluctuation in waves that originate during the universe infancy, around 400,000 years after the Big Bang. When the universe became transparent to radiation, by analyzing this fluctuation and comparing them to theoretical models of the early universe behavior, scientists can infer fundamental cosmological parameters such as the Hubble constant, which describe the rate of the universe expansion over time. By reconciling observation of the CMB, when theoretical prediction researchers can derive estimate for the age of the universe, providing insight into its evolution from its very origin to its present rate. So, did you now get it about how do scientists actually measure the age of the universe by the CMB? So, another example in measuring how do really scientists measure the actual age of the universe in just analogy, CMB as a time capsule. Think of the cosmic microwave background or CMB radiation as a time capsule from the early universe, preserving information about it in infancy. Just like opening a time capsule from the past can reveal details about a particular moment in history, studying the CMB allows scientists to learn about the universe beginning. Other analogy about the reading the clues. Imagine the fluctuation in patterns in CMB. The fluctuation as clues about the universe's early condition. This fluctuation represents variations in density and temperature in the primordial soap of the early universe. By analyzing these clues, scientists can reconstruct what the universe was like billions of years ago. So, moreover, scientists have developed mathematical models that describe how the universe evolved from its earliest moments to the present. These models incorporate fundamental parameters such as the Hubble constant, just like what I mentioned a while ago, but we're going to fully detail that Hubble constant later on, which describe how fast the universe is expanding. By comparing the prediction of these models to observation of the CMB, scientists can estimate the age of the universe. So, the CMB contains valuable information about the early universe, which scientists can extract by studying its fluctuational and patterns. By comparing this observation to theoretical models, scientists can estimate the age of the universe and gain insight into its remarkable history. So let us now moving on to the proponents of the Big Bang Theory. How does the Big Bang Theory created? So first theories. Si George Henry Joseph Edward Lemaitre. He was a first proponent of the theory. He suggested the idea of the expanding universe. So George Lemaitre, just a brief history about him, he is a Belgian physicist and Catholic priest. Lemaitre proposed the concept of the expanding universe in the 1920s. 1920s. He based his idea on Albert Einstein's theory of general relativity. So the Einstein theory of general theory of relativity mas nauna sa Big Bang theory because Albert Einstein proposed his theory later in the 1905 and the Big Bang theory is 1920. So Lemaitre bases idea on Albert Einstein theory. So before expanding outward, Lemaitre groundbreaking insight laid the foundation for what would later become known as the Big Bang theory, challenging the prevailing notion of a static and unchanging universe. Second proponent of the Big Bang theory, Edwin Powell Hubble, or was known the person who created the Hubble telescope. He established the Hubble's law, which provided an evidence that the universe was not static but expanding. Meaning to say ng static is staying, but it's not static but rather expanding. So, Edwin Hubble, he is an American astronomer. Hubble provided crucial observational evidence for the expanding universe in the 1920s. Same with Lemaitre in 1920s. He discovered that galaxies beyond our own Milky Way were receding from us, and farther away they were the fastest they were moving. This relationship between a galaxy's distance in its redshift, known as Hubble's law, demonstrated the universe was not static but undergoing expansion. That's if we're talking about static, it means this is static, just like you are popping a balloon. If we blow the balloon, meaning it is expanding. So, as Hubble's observation provided empirical support to for Lemaitre theoretical framework and helped solidify the Big Bang theory. So next one, other proponents of the Big Bang theory, those are Penzias and Robert Wilson. They discovered that microwaves within wavelengths of about 7 centimeters were present in space. So these waves were referred to as the cosmic microwave background or CMB, just like I've tackled a while ago the CMB. So Arno Penzias and Robert Wilson in 1965, Penzias and Wilson accidentally discovered the cosmic microwave background and CMB radiation. While conducting an experiment with a radio antenna, they detected faint microwave radiation coming from all directions in space, which turned out to be the afterglow of the hot, dense, and early universe. This discovery provided a compelling evidence for the Big Bang theory, confirming the prediction that the universe originated from a hot, dense state has been expanded ever since. Penzias and Wilson's detection of the CMB radiation earned them a Nobel Prize in Physics in 1978 and further bolstered the credibility of the Big Bang theory as the leading cosmological model. Okay. Most of those proponents of the Big Bang Theory, as mentioned, it is the widely most accepted cosmological theory kaysa sa steady-state theory, nebula hypothesis, etc. What is the universe really made of? As back to the discussion, as I mentioned, the hydrogen is the most abundant element in the universe. So following the Big Bang theory, subatomic particle forms protons, electrons, and neutrons. Atomic particles form simply as hydrogen and helium. Then heavier elements such as the silicon and iron. Billion of years later, atoms became planets and stars. Universe is still expanding today. So, the star formation. Eventually, the universe cooled and atoms formed with the help of gravity. These atoms, mostly hydrogen, clumped together to form a stars. So just like this example, if protons, one proton plus one neutron plus one electron, it will create an atom. Just like the hydrogen, yung elaboration. Hydrogen has one proton, one neutron, and one electron. So, ang nag-determine diba ng electrical charge ng element is the electron. So, inside the if combine four hydrogen atoms to make helium atom, this is called fusion. It powers the sun. So inside the atom or inside the nucleus na tinatawag, 'di ba? Meron diyang tinatawag na proton and neutron. Tig-isa yan sila. So meaning dalawang atom na yan diyan. If combined with the hydrogen atoms to make a helium atom, this is called fusion. It powers the sun. So as you can see, inside the nucleus of an atom, there are four, right? There are four. Nag-fusion yung hydrogen, one hydrogen, and one other hydrogen, and hydrogen nag-fuse, nagkaroon na ng two proton and two neutron, resulting to four ang nucleus ng helium. But yung electron niyan is dalawa, 'di ba? Electrical charge. Nucleosynthesis, making heavier atoms by combining lighter atoms. This occurs in stars is called fusion. This is where the stars get energy to shine. So, ang 4 dyan na helium, ang 4 din na helium, it will cause beryllium. Diba? Hindi yan ang 4 yan dyan na hindi yan yung atomic charges. Cause, ang atomic charge ng helium is 2. Bakit 4 yan nandyan? Na-mention ko, kasi 4 yung dun yung sa nucleus niya. 2 proton and dalawang neutron. So, meaning 4. Resulting beryllium. Ano ba yung beryllium? Hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium. So, beryllium has 4 atomic charges. Yung electron niya, 4. 4 yung proton and 4 yung neutron, resulting na 8 yung nucleus ng beryllium. Just like with the beryllium, na combine with the beryllium and helium, resulting ng carbon, and carbon ng helium, oxygen. Elements made in stars are made of the stuff of stars. So as mentioned, diba, a while ago, yung building blocks ng ating universe is composed of proton, neutron, and electron. If that proton, neutron, electron combine, it will result hydrogen. So, if hydrogen combine with other hydrogen, it will cause if there's a fusion that might occur to the hydrogen and hydrogen, it will combine, it will cause what? Helium. If helium and helium will combine or will merge, it will create beryllium. So, and if beryllium and helium will merge, it will create carbon. And it will carbon and helium will merge, it will create an oxygen. Pero in many cases, not all elements can merge kasi meron naman yung bonding na tinatawag, right? Yung lesson natin sa chemistry. But yan yung origin why we have different elements. Because of proton, neutron, and electron, we have hydrogen, and create the other elements in a periodic table. We have a 118 elements, right? Yan yung origin yan, it's because of the proton, neutron, and atom and their fusion to create hydrogen and further elements. Now you understand how the nucleosynthesis occur? Did you get it? Okay, let's move on. So we are now going to talk about the drawbacks of the Big Bang, since we have emphasized what is Big Bang theory, its edge or pros, but now we're going to talk about its cons or its drawbacks. So the Big Bang theory, it fails to explain how the universe was created. It's because the Big Bang theory doesn't delve into what caused the universe to come into existence initially. While it describes the universe expansion from a hot dense state, it doesn't address the ultimate origin of space, time, and matter. So second, It just explains how the universe evolves and not where it originated. So what does it mean? While the theory outlines how the universe evolved from its early stages, it doesn't explain the condition or mechanics that existed the precise moment of the Big Bang itself. It focuses more on the subsequent evolution of the universe rather than its origin. So the lastly, it also fails to explain how the galaxy forms. So the galaxy formation, although the Big Bang theory provides a framework for the understanding how the early universe evolved and how galaxy form over time, it doesn't offer detailed explanation of the specific process involved in galaxy formation. It leaves unanswered questions about the mechanics that lead to the formation of the first galaxies and the role of factors like dark matter in this process. Since we talk about the drawbacks of the Big Bang, so what is the role of the inflationary universe? So now we're going to talk about the inflation theory, the phenomenon by which the universe is driven into exponential expansion by the repulsive gravitational field created by a false vacuum. Inflation would end with the decay of this false vacuum. Although the inflation would occur in far less than a second, it could account for the bang of the Big Bang theory. It could explain the origin of essentially all of the matter in the observed universe. It can solve the horizon problem and the flatness problem. It could also generate the density of perturbations that would later become the seeds of the galaxy formation. So, the role of the inflationary universe theory proposes that the universe underwent a rapid and exponential expansion driven by a repulsive gravitational field generated by a false vacuum. This inflationary period would be occurred with a fraction of a second and could explain a sudden expansion observed in the Big Bang theory. Additionally, inflation could account for the origin of most of matter in the universe, solve problems like the horizon and flatness problems, and generate the density of perturbation and later lead to the galaxy formation. That theory offers a compelling framework of understanding the early universe in its evolution. So what is the role of Alan Guth here? So Alan H. Guth is F.V. Wiskop Professor of Physics of the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. In addition to receiving many distinguished academic awards, Newsweek he called him one of the 25 top American Innovation and Science Digest has ranked him among the 100 brightest scientists under 40. He lives in Brookline, Massachusetts with his wife and two children. So, Alan H. got in its inflation. The classic Big Bang theory is greatly in describing what happened after the bang. Yet, until recently, particle physicists and cosmologists were stuck in many questions that the Big Bang theory couldn't answer, including what made the Big Bang bang in the first place? If matters can be neither created nor destroyed, how could so much a matter arise from nothing at all? Why can we only see a minute part of the mega universe? So in 1979, a young particle physicist named Alan Guth answered these questions and made from pages news with one of the greatest discoveries and modern cosmologies or the cosmic inflation. This is the compelling first-hand accounts of God's paradigm breaking discovery of the origins of the universe in its fascinating chronicle of his dramatic struggle to is a physicist in the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. He renowned his groundbreaking contribution to cosmological, particularly the theory of cosmic inflation, born in 1947. Guth was to receive numerous prestigious awards for his research. So Guth's revolution concept of cosmic inflammation emerged in 1979, addressing fundamental questions that the classic Big Bang theory couldn't answer. His theory proposes that the universe underwent a rapid exponential expansion in its early stages, providing solution to long-standing cosmological puzzles such as the origin of the universe, matter and observed uniformity of the cosmos. So that paradigm-shifting discovery reshaped understanding of the universe, evolution, and has had a profound impact of modern cosmology. So why is inflation is needed? Where there are gaps in the Big Bang theory about how all the matter exploded into what's now the universe. Inflation expands upon the theory and describes what was happening before the Big Bang. So the inflationary theory fills a crucial gaps in the Big Bang model. By explaining the universe's initial expansion and its uniformity, it proposes a brief period of exponential expansion before the Big Bang, driven by a repulsive gravitational field. This rapid expansion smooths all out irregularities, leading to the observed homogeneity of the universe. Additionally, inflationary theory suggests that the quantum fluctuation during inflation seeded the density variation responsible for cosmic structures formation such as the galaxies and galaxy clusters. Thus, inflationary theory provide a more comprehensive understanding of the early universe, resolving a key question in inconsistency in the classic Big Bang model. So the Big Bang and the inflation. What is its connection? The inflation theory builds on particle physics and gets its name by concluding that during the earliest periods of the universe expansion and wasn't expanding a steady rate, but had an accelerating rate of expansion. That is, things started expanding slowly but speed up. Then after not terribly long things had steady rate of expansion. So the Big Bang theory described the universe's rapid expansion from hot, dense state, but it leaves question about the initial condition unanswered. Inflation theory, rooted in particle physics, proposes that the universe experienced a brief period of exponential expansion shortly after the Big Bang. This period, known as cosmic inflation, suggests that the universe didn't expand at a constant rate initially but underwent rapid acceleration. This accelerated expansion smoothed out irregularities and set the stages for the universe's subsequent evolution. Inflationary theory enhances our understanding of the early universe, providing explanation for its uniformity in the formation of cosmic structures. In conclusion, the Big Bang theory and inflationary theory have transformed our understanding of the universe's origin and evolution. While the Big Bang theory described the universe's rapid expansion from hot dense, and inflationary suggests address fundamental questions about the universe's initial conditions and uniformity, by proposing a period of rapid exponential expansion shortly after the Big Bang. Inflationary theory provides insight into the universe structures, explaining its observed homogeneity and the formation of cosmic structure. Together, these theories offer a comprehensive framework of understanding the cosmos history, from its primordial beginning to the complex structure we observe today. So that would be all. Thank you for watching and listening.